Hello, my name is Richie Knox, and you are tuning in to Virtuous Teacher. All right, welcome to the channel, the podcast, what have you. In this episode, we'll be talking about why you were selected. Why were you chosen? Why did you choose to be a teacher? All right, before we do, don't forget to check out this particular content on YouTube. You can also find it everywhere that podcasts are available at the Virtuous Teacher podcast. Take a look, search for it. And I'm a dinosaur when it comes to this stuff. I don't know how to get exposure, how to get my channel with I don't know how to get views. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. The only thing I know how to do is what I've seen other channels do, other podcasts do. And that is, practically beg you for likes and comments and subscribe. Oh my gosh, do I got to do this? You could help me out by just throwing a like on the video or the content or rating the podcast a 5 if you feel that it is. All that kind of cool stuff. And also, don't be a stranger to the description area. That's where you can find information about my t-shirt company, booking me, one-on-one sessions, tons of stuff there. Check it out, all right, in the descriptions. But let's jump into it and start with why you did not become a teacher. And that is primarily because of the pay. The pay is not the best, right? So we know that is not why you chose to be a teacher. So why did you still do it, considering that the pay is so nominal? It's not a lot, right? Why did you still become a teacher at the end of the day? That's a big question. But before we talk about that, isn't it time that we get paid more? I think the rationale or logic behind, pay in America just doesn't make sense. We'll pay entertainers millions of dollars, but won't pay the people who taught them how to speak, how to write, how to measure distance, how to, count 2 points versus 3 points, how to count 6 points plus 7 if you kick a field. We've taught all these things, math, science, reading. So why aren't we properly compensated? I'll tell you why, because America thinks that we are expendable, right? If every sports player were to quit, the only thing that would change is that we would probably be more bored. We wouldn't have anything to root for necessarily as it relates to sports and competition. But if every teacher in America were to quit right now, it would disrupt everything, right? All right, it would disrupt everything, whether it be parents having a place to take their children, whether it be, the intelligence of a new era or new generation. I mean, it would disrupt everything. So why aren't we properly compensated? I'll tell you why. Because they're giving us crumbs and we're very thankful for the crumbs. I am proposing a strike. All right. On January 7th, 2025, every teacher in America quit. Just quit. So that means you have quite a few months to just stockpile money, because we're going to quit unilaterally around the world. We're just going to quit because they're not properly compensating us. All right. And when we do that, they'll be forced to pay us. Let me tell you why they don't have to do that right now. It's because, you have a strike at one school. We're not working as a collective. I'm joking, of course, but I'm kind of not joking. I mean, someone tell me if you want to do it. How about someone's, as in 10,000, 20,000 someones, tell me. How about you share this part of the video with every teacher in America to see if everyone's down for it, because I'm not going to be the only one. We need everyone as a collective, every teacher, math, science, everything, everybody. To all say, we're going to stop working on January 7th and pursue a different career. Why? Because we're not being properly compensated. We are getting the pennies, right? We're giving billions of dollars away, other countries, relief aids, but we're not really taking care of the people that's taking care of the people. What sense does that make? Okay. And here's what I'm proposing. I'm not even proposing a lot. I think that the U.S. government should raise all teachers' salaries by at least $25,000. That's all I'm asking annually. Okay. Across the board. Share this part of the video, I dare you. Okay. Because if we all decide to lay down what do you lay down if you're a teacher? Your pencils, your calculators. I don't know what it is, the cell phones. All right. If we all lay that down, they'll be forced to change, because listen, they're going to take advantage of us as long as we don't, And I know the argument. Well, teachers, Entertainers, the reason they get paid so much is because they do it on TV and they do it in front of a large audience. Well, hey, put me on TV. That's the real point of behind why I'm doing this podcast, is to raise awareness about what it feels like, what it is like being a teacher. And also to advocate for teachers, if you will. We need a raise. And I'm talking about administrators as well. I'm not talking about just teachers. I mean principals, administrators, counselors. If you work in the field of education, you're being underpaid for what you have to do. Me and you know that, but I'm not sure the rest of the world does. And that's what we have to, get out there. We're going to quit on January 7th unless we receive unilaterally around the world, or at least around the U.S., a $25,000 increase, not bonus. I mean, increase. Okay. And I think it should go up every year by $25,000. I really do, because we need it. We deserve it. If anybody deserves it, we do. All right. If every teacher quit, parents wouldn't have anywhere to drop their kids. Kids wouldn't be learning anything. Kids would be sitting at home. It'd be terrible. All right. That's how important we are. If every actor were to just lay down their script. Do you lay down your script when you're an actor? Yeah, if every actor just quit today, the worst that could happen is we wouldn't have anything to watch when we, on TV, perhaps. That would be boring, but it would not disrupt everything. All right. Teachers are so important. We need to be respected as such. But nevertheless, why were you chosen? I'll tell you why. It's because you are chosen. That makes sense? You're chosen. Now, this is where things get a little iffy, but I'll be respectful to everyone. Whether you believe in one God, or you believe in a universe, or you don't believe in anything at all. Nevertheless, someone or something chose you. All right. I am one that believes that there is a higher power, and he chooses people to do certain things based on what he sees or what he put inside of you. And you can think the complete opposite, but I think we can still agree. Something or someone chose you to do this. Now, think about the job that you have to do. Your job is looking after the most precious entity on this earth, that being children. Children are innocent in essence, at least until they get to middle school. All right. But anyway, the point is, someone said you are fit to look after children, and that has to feel good. You're chosen. You're the chosen one. You got to consider that. I would also say that you're stable. You're very balanced. You can go into a space with children, because think about it. Children are unstable. You bring a bunch of children into a space and just watch chaos ensue. I mean, have you ever been to Chuck E. Cheese? Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, but you're stable, and I say that because the children have to have someone to use as an example, as an exemplar. Because if a child were teaching children, they would never learn to be still, never learn to be calm or relaxed. But obviously, because you are the model, and that's the word I want to use, you are the model. All right. You are the exemplar that hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of children, very young children, will look at and see and say, that is a person, that is a male, that is a female, or a good representation of a male or female. How about this? You're smart. Now, let me be the first one to raise my hand. I wasn't always looked at as an intelligent individual growing up. I'm not even sure how I got to college. I'm not sure how I graduated from college. I'm not sure how I graduated from grad school or any of this stuff. All right. I never considered myself to be intelligent, but we have to go ahead and address the obvious. Obviously, you're smart. You went through an educational system and you passed it. That's the bare minimum of intelligence, and you did that. So you must be smart, especially, I'm just adding on to it, especially if you were able to go to a college and succeed and get a certificate. So I think there's enough there to show that you are smart or smarter than the average individual. You are responsible. All right. That's why you were chosen. You're responsible. You can go into a space with children and behave yourself. Now, we know there are some bad apples out there. Let me not get started on that. But I'm saying, generally speaking, you're responsible. You know right from wrong. You're a good model. You have good character. All right. You're giving. Think about what you're giving. You're sacrificing your time to give to someone else's children. And then when you get home, a lot of times, if you're like me, you don't have enough energy to give to your own children. So you're a giving individual. Think about that. You're giving your time. Time is the most promising and important commodity out there because you can't get it back. If you throw $5 into the ocean, you can get $5 again. But you will never get that 5 minutes back. This time that I'm spending doing this particular episode, I'll never ever get it back. So I can only hope that the time I'm investing here helps someone, because I can never get that time back. And this is why it's so important to use every moment of your life in the most significant way possible, because you're giving so much. Your time is invaluable. All right, but there you go. You're giving time to people. You're giving your energy to individuals, which is why we need to be properly compensated, obviously. All right. You're a server. OK, you go into a space and you give your knowledge to someone else. Isn't that the most amazing thing ever? You've slaved through 4 years of college, 8 years of grad schools, maybe even 15 years of grad school, just to give it to other people for free. All right. If you work in a public school, you give it all your information, your knowledge that you've learned. You're gleaning out the stuff they don't need, and you're putting what's in there, and you're serving it on a platter. And sometimes you're doing that without being respected in your classroom space. Don't think I don't know. All right. You got a kid sneakering and laughing, playing Pokemon on a Game Boy or GameCube, whatever they play these days, while you're trying to give them and serve them information for free. How amazing is that? It's because you're amazing. That's why you are a teacher. That's why you chose to be a teacher. You didn't know that. You didn't sign the application saying I'm amazing and that's what. No, you just are. I bit my tongue. Ouch. You just are intrinsically. Try saying that without biting your tongue. Don't do it. All right, I'm telling you. I'm warning you. But anyway, also you are important. You are important. It goes back to what I said at the start of this episode. If you were to quit, and we're all to quit. All right, if every teacher in America or the world, because this podcast is worldwide, if we all were to just lay down our books, is that what you lay down? Because I don't know. If we were to lay down our books, okay, our cell phones, and just say, you know what, I'm not doing this again. Do you know how bad it would be in the world? Okay, we saw some of this happen around COVID. A lot of teachers did not return to work. It just wasn't comfortable, right? We had realized like we've been taken advantage of, and that teacher shortage is still taking place to this day. All right, there's still classrooms around the world that are empty or being taught by individuals who have not been certified as of the moment. So we are important, and it's time for us to kind of put our foot down a little bit. Not too much. Teachers are the most kind people. We don't want to create a stir, but we do want to be compensated. I mean, I don't think I'm asking for a lot. I'm saying $25,000 annually for the next 5 years. How about it? I'll even take 4, so that it equates to about $100,000 over the next 4 years. Taxed. All right. So really more like 60,000. Come on. Please like and share this episode, because I'm kind of serious. I mean, I say stuff like this because I'm not sure anybody else agrees, but I'm throwing it out there. It's kind of like a fishing line. Like, does anybody want to do this? I'm talking about worldwide, because we can change the world, teachers. We are so important. And what's sad is when we do stuff like that, we're looked at as bad characters or bad people. But here we are watching people with insignificant roles. And I'm not going to diminish anyone's importance, but let's be quite clear. There are jobs out there. If they quit, it would be a minor inconvenience if we're talking globally. But teachers, man, are they important? Let's be real. That is why I'm doing this series, to raise awareness about what we go through. Okay. And this is why it's so crucial that you give me a little bit of help. I can't do this by myself. I don't know anyone who can, but I do know one thing. Teachers are ready to be heard. They're ready to be seen. I've heard this before. I'm not sure how true it is, but the reason teachers don't make a lot of money is because, you can't put teachers on a television and you can't bring cameras into the classroom. I would object to that. I'm the kind of teacher that would love a film crew to be in my classroom watching me do my job, so that they can see how dynamic I am as an instructor, how important and impactful my work is. And perhaps the only reason that doesn't happen is because I work in the field of minors. And obviously when it comes to minors, there's a lot to unravel there in terms of parental consent, all this stuff. But it's possible. All right, it's possible. It just takes some time. It takes a little work. And I am an individual who's ready to do the work. All right, that is what this podcast is about. I mean, imagine if this voice was at the top of the pile because every teacher who heard it supported it with a like, with a comment, with a subscription, with a share. I mean, goodness gracious, we might actually get somewhere. That is, of course, if you're happy with making the bare minimum, the bottom of the barrel minimum, then just keep on listening and just tune off and go about your business. But if you want to try to encourage change, because that's all I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to encourage change to see if it's even possible, because we never know if things are possible until we try it. January 7th. That's all I'm saying. Share the video. All right, folks. It was great having this conversation. You know what to do. Do all that fancy stuff that you do to support, and I'll continue to support you, because whether you realize it or not, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm advocating for educators. Can you not tell? Can you not tell? All right. This is not for me. This is for us. We deserve it. Okay. I appreciate you. That's for certain. Keep doing your job. Keep giving. Keep being excellent. Keep being smart for the bare minimum. If you're cool with that. I'm not. It's been good. I'll see you on the next one.